morning to everyone. I hope you are awake and sassy feeling this morning. It's still dark here. 6:15 in the morning here. So grab your cup of coffee and pull up a blanket, whatever you need to do to get jump started this morning. So I don't know about y'all, but I have been feeling like I've been in a battle for a long time. I don't know. After you've been in a battle for an extended period of time, you're kind of thinking to yourself, where is this coming from? So kind of like, you've been using all the skills in your arsenal to that you've been using your whole life to help you cope, feel calm, whatever, feel reconnected with people, things, whatever. And you feel like you're not having much success. So whatever symptoms you've had, whether you've had anxiety or depression or a million others, I just named those because those are the two most common ones. But whatever you're doing feels like it's not having the same effectiveness that it used to. Feeling ya. So when daily stuff comes our way, it's been getting harder and harder to keep ourselves on an even keel. Some of our struggles seem to be maybe a little more set in, maybe deeper or like more intense. And for some reason, this battle is starting to feel different. It doesn't necessarily feel like it's a physical battle anymore or emotional battle. It's starting to feel like it's a spiritual battle. So it's kind of confusing when the issues I have, don't really take a break. Your emotions won't settle. The conflict that you have seems more continuous than it used to be. I've been reading a devotional called Restart Your Heart by Jentizen Franklin. And it's reminded me that my struggles aren't against humans. Here's a quote from the book. Never forget, there is an enemy who comes to kill and destroy, and his tactic is always deception, because he's a liar. He will whisper defeat and indignation and condemnation with one purpose in mind, to get you to turn away from God and his purpose and his call on your life. Satan wants to kill your dream and cancel your assignment. If he can get into your head, he can turn your direction. He can make you feel unworthy, unwanted, not skillful enough, not prepared. He can mess with your inspiration, your motivation, and the vision that God has probably been growing in you for maybe a short time, maybe a long time. If he can make you question yourself and turn back, he's won. His ultimate goal is to get you questioning God, questioning whether there was ever really a plan to begin with. Does this feel like a physical battle to you? I don't think so. Here's a few scripture verses. 1 Peter 5:8-9. Be sober-minded, be watchful. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion seeking someone to devour. Resist him, firm in your faith, knowing that the same kinds of suffering are being experienced by your brotherhood throughout the world. John 10:10. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. Ephesians 6:12. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against rulers, powers, authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. One more. 1 Corinthians 10:13. No temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful, and he will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. And with the temptation, he will also provide a way of escape that you may be able to endure it. I love this. God will not allow you to be tempted beyond your ability. Technically, he won't let you be tempted beyond his ability, because he can provide you a way of escape. So does it feel like your mental struggles are random? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think they are. This seems pretty targeted. Like this attempt to change your focus and lose your power, your spiritual power. I don't think it's random. I think there's a definite attempt on your psychological abilities to connect with your spiritual power, which is given to you by God. So I can tell you, this is not, they're not a mistake. Satan, he makes mistakes, but when he's targeting you, that's not a mistake in his mind. That's intentional. He has a game plan. It involves neutralizing you, creating distractions, mental fatigue, physical fatigue. If he can wear you out, he'll wear you down. A few months ago, I was reading the Screwtape Letters by C.S. Lewis. And in this book, I had struggled to get into this book when I was in high school, and I finally picked it up. And I can't read it all the way through, but there's a lot of good stuff in there. One point stuck with me is that Satan is trying to put, he isn't trying to put things into your mind. Like a lot of our parents told us when we were kids, yeah, you put stuff in your mind. That's not always inaccurate. However, I think Satan's real power is the things he keeps out of your mind. He keeps you from connecting to the tools that God has for you. He keeps you from identifying who your real enemy is. That's a big part of the problem, because your enemy isn't the boss that's rude, or the coworker who's passing around gossip, or your spouse who seems to be consistently at odds with you. They're not really the enemy. Did you ever stop to think that when you become irritable, the situation that's happening, that there's a war on yourself? Yeah, I just flipped it on you. We look at the other person as our battle, but actually the real battle starts in here. When irritation happens, Satan and his minions are working to keep the things that God says to us out of our heads so that they cannot be used as tools with our present situation. That kid that doesn't want to listen to you and breaks the rules all the time, you think there's a spiritual battle on him? Her? I think so. How do we handle ourselves? Here's a few more scriptures. Ephesians 6:18, with all prayer and petition, pray at all times in the Spirit. And with this in view, be on the alert with all perseverance and petition for the saints. 2 Corinthians 10:3-5. For though we live in the world, we do not wage war as the world does. The weapons we fight are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, we have divine power to demolish strongholds. We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God. And we take captive every thought and make it obedient to Christ. Philippians 4:8. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may be able to test and approve what the will of God is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will. Last one. Colossians 3:2. Set your minds on things above, not on things of the earth. I'm hearing a pretty strong trend here. Our only tools to fight against chaos in our own minds is truth. Pray continuously. Take your thoughts captive. Focus on consistent truth as the Bible. Renew your mind, do not conform. Set my focus on eternal things, not on things of the earth. That's the Cliff Notes version of all the scriptures I just read. So what I'm seeing here is a consistent message. To get through the daily grind, I got to focus on the prize, which is Jesus. I want to be responsible for today's issues, but in light of eternity's lens. When I give up my rights to be reactive, I make connections with people who really matter. I didn't say I don't have rules and boundaries. That you got to do. Those are the result of my desire to walk with God. And sometimes God carries a stick. We forget that. At times, God has used that stick on you. I don't say he hasn't, because he's used anybody who follows him, he loves. He's used that stick on you. Hebrews 12:5-11. And have you forgotten the exhortation that addresses you as sons? My son, do not regard lightly the discipline of the Lord, nor be weary when reproved by him. For the Lord disciplines those he loves and chastises every son whom he receives. It is for discipline that you have to endure. God is treating you as sons. For what son is there whom his father does not discipline? If you are left without discipline, in which all have participated, then you are an illegitimate child and not sons. Because this, we have earthly fathers who disciplined us and we respected them. Shall we not much more be subject to the Father of spirits and live? What does that look like for you? Focusing on yourself. Getting yourself connected to God before forging ahead to try to deal with people. It's probably a good start. Be ready. Be silent until you are ready. Pray through your own chaos before airing all that to others. Focus on your own battle and who your battle's with. Not that person over there. This is who your battle's with. It might not be the person that we think it is that our battle is with. It might be a spiritual war to keep all of God's truths designed to keep you centered, helping you cope out of your head. I love the meme that says, silence is golden. Duct tape is silver. Use the tape. Pray continuously. Be mindful of God's love for you and others, and then work your way forward. Have a good day.